Welcome to the Tribe Talk Show, live from Atlanta. On this show, you get real conversations, inspiring stories, entertainment, information that empowers, real talk. A safe space to learn and grow. Real sisterhood. Let's talk. Let's grow. Let's thrive together. Join the tribe. And now, here are your hosts, Tendai and Grace.
Hi guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Tribe Talk Show. And today we have a very fun-packed show. We have a special guest, my homegirl from Zimbabwe, Gemma, who is a multi-award-winning artist. And we also have my beautiful co-host here. Hi, Grace.
I thought you forgot about
Can
me.
I ever? I could never, Tweenie.
She's blushing about Gemma.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
How was your interview with her? I hated that I missed that.
It went really, really well. Miss Busybody was traveling again, so I had to do the interview by myself. But yeah, it was really good.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Yes. But let's talk about Friendsgiving. See, our friend here that's always claimed that she doesn't like to host. She hosted a beautiful ladies' evening this past week. Friendsgiving. That was the first time, my first experience, and I really enjoyed it.
Really?
Yes,
You had never
I
been to
loved
like
it.
a friend's?
No,
before?
I've never had
Okay.
friends that will invite me to a Friendsgiving. What is that about?
Yeah.
Yes, that was such an awesome experience, and I love your girls.
So I was invited to one about 2 years ago, and it was really good because, I think we take for granted that some people don't actually have friends to have Thanksgiving with, which that has been resolved. I always go to Grace's house.
But
whether she
that's a
invites me or
family
not.
event.
Yeah, that's a
now this dynamic of just women,
Yeah,
just friends coming
yeah.
together. I love that, and the fact that we
Yeah.
get a chance to write our next year book.
Plans, we did. So the Friendsgiving was really awesome because I just wanted us to, first of all, just get a chance to be grateful, to thank God for all our achievements, but also to plan ahead.
Yeah.
Because you know what they say, if you plan to fail,
If you fail
what does it say?
fail to plan.
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yes.
So I always like to, around November is when I start planning for the next year. So we did our vision boards and we danced to Amapiano.
I know.
And
And the
we
girls
ate.
were wild.
And we ate.
That
and-
was beautiful.
Yeah, I have crazy friends, and it was so good for you to meet my tribe. and I met the
Yes,
tribe,
yes.
so it was.
I
good.
really enjoyed it.
Oh,
I
I'm
enjoyed
glad
it.
you
Very
enjoyed
nice
it.
and intimate. I loved it.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
what's the
so I'm looking
gist
forward to the
today?
next one.
What's the gist? What's the gist?
Well, actually, I'm sure you've seen the blog. Let's talk about our girl, Tiwa Savage.
Our
A
sister.
few weeks ago, she granted some interview, and in there, she shared her aspiration of being a second wife. I thought that's
Yeah.
worth visiting.
So when I see people saying those things, I always think, so for those of you that haven't seen, she did an interview, I think it was with Angela Lee.
Yes.
And she said that she's open to being a second wife. And yeah, so people have just been talking. But with me, when I see someone saying that, I think she's already in the process. Either she's already a second wife or she's considering it.
You think
she's
so?
soft launching to us so that when we hear that, oh, Tiwa Savage is now a second wife, it's not going to be shocked because that's what I think.
You know how I hurriedly called you because I thought that was really shocking. 2 out of 4 people. She's beautiful, she's talented, she's famous, she's rich, I would think, I would assume. So why in the world will you just want to be somebody else's
I think,
second wife?
I don't know,
Is it because of lack of single men? Or?
me personally, that is not my portion and it shall never be my portion.
Like my people will say, to fiakwa.
That
And
can
I'm
never
like-
be my- and I don't say that saying it's a bad thing to do, but I know myself. I know me.
I don't like to share
I
that
know
much.
me. I know me. I know who I am. I know exactly who I am. Just the thought that my partner is sleeping with another woman would drive me crazy. So I don't want to put myself in all that emotional distress. But if you remember when a sex tape leaked, she now came back and said the guy is actually the person that leaked it. And there was a lot of conversation where she was saying that she will never date someone that doesn't have as much to lose. And now when you look at Tiwa Savage, she is a music icon. Like you said, she's very successful. So the man in her dating pool, in her text brackets, are very limited. And also the same man that she may want to date may not want to date her because she's too successful. Remember, successful men, some of them, they avoid dating successful women. They prefer to date women that are a little bit on the lower, you know. So that could be why. That's the only reason why I could think maybe that's why she wants to go.
I'm just hoping that she's thinking of the other side. You understand? Like, okay, if you are willing to do this, think about the woman at home. Think about the first wife. We already know that ain't no such thing as somebody wants to share their husband. Even in our world where it's culturally accepted, it's still not. You know, women, nobody wants to share. So, and then, you know, this will you often cause emotional trauma.
But you know, I had a friend that was okay with polygamy. Like she told me that
in 2025?
Yeah, she was okay with it because she's Muslim, and she said that her mom was in a polygamous relationship. So she didn't believe in monogamy. She didn't believe that men can honestly be 100% like be with one. She didn't believe it was possible. So because of that, she's very much open. So I don't really know Tiwa's background, but if someone is coming from like a Muslim background or if it's a polygamy.
I was raised in a polygamous home.
How was it for you?
I mean, back then it was okay because, you know, back then, I'm talking about in the 40s, 50s, 60s, you know, it was a norm. Because your level of wealth, your success, marrying more than one wife is a reflection of how wealthy you are or how successful you are. You know, so if most women actually will encourage their husband to take another wife, because if you're in monogamy, people would think that you're poor, you know. But that was then. And of course, growing up in such an environment wasn't bad. I know a lot of people have bad experiences, but for my dad, in my home, it wasn't bad at all. But would that propel me to join it? No, this is 2025. I do not subscribe to sharing.
I think you need to have patience, you need to have emotional awareness, and you need emotional intelligence to be able.
Can I marry two husbands?
I will end up in jail somewhere. I will end up in prison. So I don't want to put that. I don't want to do that to myself. But each to their own.
Yeah.
If she has decided
that she's thinking about the effects on the other, she did say that the other woman.
What if it's like Dangote?
Well, maybe. She did say that whoever she ends up with, you know, the other wife, they're going to be BFF, or maybe they will enjoy.
Want.
Yeah, maybe there are some women that are okay with that.
Do you know
Let
the
me not generalize
polygamous homes that I have seen work? They are the ones with the rich men, where the resources are enough for everyone.
Yeah.
I just think when it comes to polygamy, poor men, stay out of this one. Sit this one out. If you're poor, focus on one woman, because those things, if you are rich enough to share resources amongst your wives, then it's okay.
Yeah, but even at that, I don't like when these role models, you know, come out publicly trying to normalize this.
Yeah,
I don't like it because there are so many ladies worshiping this, you know, stars. Trying to be like them.
Yeah,
and when they come out publicly normalizing this in 2025, no, y'all need to do better.
I know. So I want to hear from our tribe. What do you guys think? Would you be open
to sharing?
Would you be open to sharing or not? But coming up is my interview with Gemma. We'll be right back. Hi guys, thank you so much for joining us. As I said before, I am very honored to have a multi-awarding artist, my homegirl, straight from Harare, Gemma.
Hey.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited. We always have Nigerian artists and Nigerian guests on the show. So today I'm privileged to have you.
Guys, you guys don't really know how big of a deal this is. This lady is probably, I think when it comes to female artists, Zimbabwean artists, you're definitely on top there. And we're so honored to have you on the show. Thank you so much for making time out to see us. How's Atlanta for you?
No, I'm having a brilliant time. Honestly, I've been so blown away. I mean, the skies are blue, the sun is warming me, and I've had a great time. So far.
And you did perform yesterday.
Yes.
And you were so good.
Oh,
and everyone
thank
was
you.
surprised. Everyone at the party didn't even know you were going to join.
Yeah,
Do
it
you
was a
like doing those
surprise.
intimate events?
Oh, I love them. I love being able to actually connect with people and spend time with people as well, which is so nice. And I don't always get to do that sometimes,
And I love that you're not a diva. I love that you're not a
thank you.
Because, guys, she was on the dance floor.
Yes,
she
girl.
was on the dance floor with everyone dancing. That was really, really amazing. But I just wanted to find out from you, how did you discover that you were really into music?
Yeah, I think music is such a cool thing because when you're a kid and you kind of like you just do what you feel like doing. You don't think about like, is this going to be a career? You're just like, I love this thing, and that was music for me. I loved music from such a young age. I was on stage from like 6 years old, and I was just that's all I wanted to do with my spare time. So
did your parents support that?
Yeah, I was
good,
very
because African
lucky.
parents are like, go to school.
Yeah, no, I was very, very lucky. I mean, my folks were very big on education, and they were like, you need to be in school. But what I did with all my extracurriculars and stuff, like it was fully music, and they fully supported it.
And I understand from your early time when you started doing music, you went for 2 years just traveling around Africa in your Land Rover. That is such a cool. Tell me, how did that experience affect you or influence you?
So the plan was basically it was like 2017, 2018, 2019, around there. And the plan was just to write music in total immersion of like these places. And I've always wanted to travel as much of Africa as I could. So I packed my life into a Land Rover with a tent on top and a studio in the back, and just started driving. Not really with any sort of plan other than create and experience. And I didn't know how long I was going to be. And we ended up on the road for about 2 years across East, Southern and West Africa.
And how easy was it for you to meet like with other creatives in those countries?
Yeah, it was really easy, actually, just to connect with different people. There are so many musicians and creatives across the continent, and I think I just stumbled into these spaces and meet people. I made some amazing music, made some amazing friends.
I guess you guys follow each other, like you glue to each other. You can smell where the art street people are, right?
Yeah, and I think you also learn along the way. Like one thing that I definitely was so glad that I did. Every time I would cross a border, I would ask whoever was stamping my passport, I would say, who are your favorite artists in the country? And then I'd go and look them up and listen to a bunch of their music and stuff. And that was a really cool way of like learning what was new.
Yeah, now I want to talk to you about a pivotal moment that I remember. There are some things that that happen and you remember exactly where you are.
Yeah.
I remember I was in the UK one day. I went on Facebook and I saw you singing Musaroa Bigima. I was like, wait a minute, who is this?
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Yeah, so I was performing at the Zim Achievers Awards in the UK, actually, and I'd gone for a sound check, and I saw that they had this like beautiful white grand piano, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I need to play that piano. What am I going to play? And I was a massive fan of Winky D. I was a massive fan of Zim Dancehall because I grew up in Harare, and so I ended up, I was like, you know what, I'm going to do a rendition of one of his tracks, Musaroa Bigman. And then fast forward after that, so I did this song, then I landed back in Zim, and by the time I landed, someone had uploaded a video of me performing, and it had like hundreds of thousands of views, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I ended up getting his permission through someone that knew him, if I could record a rendition, and we did that, and then the rest is history. Fast
so
forward
is that
a few
what
years.
led to?
Yes, that's what led to
Mugaden.
Mugaden. So about 3 years later, he called me up. And he was like, I have this idea. And we sat in his car and he played me Mugaden. And that night we hit the studio. Next day the song was done. And like a little while later, I was on a plane to shoot a music video for it. And
That
it was just
such a beautiful song.
Yeah.
It still is.
Yeah.
And you choose to sing in Shona. Why? What do you think? How important do you think it is? Because I know that some people
some Zimbabwean artists are choosing to go the English route because they believe that they want to reach a bigger audience.
Yeah.
How do you think? Why do you choose to sing in your language, in your your country language?
Yeah, I think because, a lot of the music that I grew up listening to from the late great Oliver Mtukudzi to Babashero to Thomas Mapfumo, and then, fast forward to the dancehall greats like Winky D and some of my peers like Nati O and Enzo Aishel, who I gain a lot of knowledge from. I think that's, the music that I listen to is in Shona. And it's such a beautiful language to sing in. It's so poetic. It's like lyrical in its own way. It's just beautiful. And so to be able to mix English and Shona, it just felt like it always feels like the natural thing to do. There's some things that you can say in English that hit different than if you say it in Shona and vice versa.
Yeah.
And I also think now with the way that Afrobeats and the music scene is moving, a song doesn't have to be in English for it to blow up.
For it to blow up,
which is beautiful. And I think it's such a good lesson in knowing yourself, knowing your roots, knowing who you are, and not changing that because of outside Western pressure.
Yeah, and I love that, especially with your gospel songs. I need to tell you, your song Titungamire Baba really carried me through one of my worst moments in my life. I remember when my mom was sick and she eventually passed away. I had to travel from Atlanta to South Africa, to Joburg, and I was listening to it the whole way.
Oh, wow.
Your music is very, very inspiring. And like you say, there's just something about, I can listen to gospel music in English, but when it's Shona, it hits different.
It hits different.
And I love that you're doing that. I really love that
you.
you're doing that. And did you speak Shona when you were growing up?
So I learned at school, but I think when I really learned it like deeply was through my friendships, through my band, as I was sort of leaving school, so the end of school onwards, and I'm still learning every day. I still make mistakes. I'm doing actually chirungu. Like sometimes my accent is, but it's a beautiful thing, and I think I guess through my connections, my friendships.
Yeah, I love that for you. And we're gonna be right back, and we're going to continue our conversations with Gemma. We'll be right back. Hi guys, we're back with Gemma and we're continuing our conversations. And Gemma, I know that you play so many instruments.
Yes.
How did you learn all that?
I started on piano when I was about 6, and then I picked up the guitar because it was like a nice, easy thing to sing with. And then my mom actually taught me trumpet.
Oh, so your mom is also into music?
Yes, yeah.
That is really good.
Which is really cool. My mom
is
I grew up in a very artistic household. Like my grandpa played clarinet, my gran was a pianist. And then my mom also plays guitar and trumpet and a bunch of wind instruments. So I I always had the opportunity to learn if I wanted to. And then once you play a couple, you can kind of pick up some more, your understanding of music theory and reading music and things like that.
That is really good. And you recently released your debut album. Congratulations. I've been playing it in my car, and I can tell you Holy is my favorite.
Yes.
And I think yesterday I kept saying
Usanet Seke.
That is my song. That was me.
I heard someone.
Is my song.
Usanet Seke, baby.
Oh my God.
DJ Tamuka, man.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
I love the new album.
Yeah.
You did so great.
Thank
I
you.
like that you have gospel songs, but you also have some love songs.
Yeah.
How did that album come about?
Yeah, look, it's been a long time coming that I needed to drop this debut album. And I think for me it was really important that it was rooted in Zimbabwe, that it was about home, and that it was about the story of Muskanawe Harare, a girl from Harare hustling in the city to make it as a creative. And so there are moments, and I think you touched on, the gospel and then the love songs and things like that. I love writing about like real experience. So some of those moments are moments with God. Some of those moments are heartbreak, or are falling in love, or are, mixing my rice with peanut butter, or going kwamereki in the city, or shopping Pezanamo, like all these moments. And so it's just this story about, this journey of 10 years in the industry working to become an artist in Harare.
Yeah. And I love the collaboration with Peruzzi.
Thank you.
Who is a big artist.
Oh my gosh, I'm
How
such
did
a
that
fan.
come about?
Honestly, that was like complete like godly timing and serendipity. I've been a massive fan of Peruzzi. Like his work in the Nigerian music scene is just incredible. He's also, he sings amazing gospel music as well. And I think it just so happened that somebody in his team heard the song when I was in London, showing it to some different people, and they were like, "We love this. Let's go."
I love the song. It's a beautiful song.
Such an amazing moment, and that's holy. And the video is about to drop, which I'm so excited about.
We are waiting for that video. And who else did you collaborate on this album?
So Feli Nandi, my girl.
I love Feli.
Oh, I love Feli.
I love Feli. I love Feli.
She's incredible, and she's as incredible in person as she is, online. She's just an amazing soul. Nati O, my beautiful friend who I love.
You guys have collaborated
dearly.
before, right?
Yes, we have. We did 263 a few years back. But he's, we have had such a long and close friendship for so long. So it didn't make sense not to have him on the album.
That's good.
He's done so much for me, and he means so much to me. And then I actually discovered. When we were in Vic Falls, me and Manucci, one of the producers, we were doing like a writing camp, the two of us in Vic Falls. And I was like, let's stop, we need to go get some food. So we went out and there was an open mic night at the brewery.
Oh, wow.
And we were sitting there, and this young 18-year-old got on stage and he started singing. And I was like, this voice, this is incredible. So after he jumped off stage, I was like, hey, I'm Gemma. Do you want to come to the studio? And we're I would love you on the album. And I didn't know what we were going to create. And we made the intro. So his name's Naishe.
I wanted to ask you, who is that?
That's
on the
Naishe,
intro?
yeah.
And I almost hate you for just making it so short.
I know, it needs to be longer.
I wanted more. When I was listening, like, I looked at the name, I said, this doesn't look familiar. I've not heard of this guy. That is so good. And I love that you're giving, younger people opportunities to be seen and heard.
I just think it was just I just couldn't get over this incredible voice. And I was like, we need to do something. Yeah, no, he's
the
really
intro
lovely.
is amazing.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that it? Just as you're getting to it, and it's a good intro to Holly too, because Holly comes afterward. Yeah, I really love that. And what can people expect as far as the music video with Peruzzi? Is that the first music video you're dropping?
Yeah.
Where did you guys shoot it?
So it was shot in Lagos and it was shot in Harare, which is really cool, and just so cool to have him actually in the video.
Yeah.
Which was amazing because we didn't end up we shot in 2 locations. We didn't end up getting to do it together. But yeah, there's definitely a really cool string of things that sort of melted all together. And actually, it's all based on this chair, that white plastic chair that you see everywhere in African celebration. You know, whenever people are celebrating and together, you pull out these chairs.
The white chairs.
And I got this tattoo years and years ago because it reminded me of that. It was what is gathering together as and that's what it. So
I love that. And I saw you performing yesterday.
Yes, girl.
You had an amazing time.
Thank you.
And you're so down to earth.
Thank you.
I love that this girl was on dance floor with kids, dancing around, jamming. We really had a good time. I love that. Are you going to be touring anytime soon?
Yeah, so we've got a few more shows coming up. I've got a show with Baba Harare in Birmingham in November.
That's awesome.
I've got a show in November in Joburg with a bunch of incredible gospel artists called Hallowed. And then we've got some shows back home in Zim. So yeah, it's gonna be a really nice end to the year.
That is really good. And I know that you recently launched your podcast.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, Hello Hi with Gemma. I think it was just this idea of I meet so many incredible creatives in the work that I do. And sometimes, and a lot of these people are people that I'm really good friends with as well. And we sit and we have these amazing conversations. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish people could hear these. Like, for example, I'll sit down with Nati O and leave, my brain will be exploding because there's just so much knowledge there, And so I just thought, what if we had a platform, creative to creative? Like, how are you managing the industry? Like, what are some things that you've done that like you really think have attributed to your career? And I hope ideally it'll give people an insight to these different artists in a sort of different light, but also will give insights to young creatives to see like things that maybe they could put into their own careers and into their own practices.
And what is next? You've done podcasts, you've done music.
Yes.
What's next for Gemma?
Oh my gosh, definitely more music. That's definitely on the cards for me. And I think just, next year I want to make a couple of tracks that like I am so incredibly proud of. But right now, like I think this album, I think this new video, and just carrying on and seeing how much we can grow, and ideally seeing what 2026 has to hold.
And you guys need to stream this album.
Stream this album.
It's available everywhere.
It's available everywhere.
And the video is going to be available. When does the video drop?
Oh, that's a good question. In about a week.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll post all about it.
Yeah. And how can people reach you if they want to know more about you?
Yes, I'm available everywhere. But I'm just search Gemma Griffiths or Gemma Music, Gemma Music on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all those good things.
Yeah.
And stay up
Gemma,
to
I just want
date.
to thank you for taking time out to meet with us. Like I said, guys, this is the most humble artist that I've ever come across. And we definitely wish you everything and more. Guys, go ahead. Go stream this album, and when the music video drops, I'm definitely going to be sharing it all over my social media. Thank you guys for joining us again. We will see you next time. Thank you.
Bye.